Oh, talking about my father. Oh. So, growing up, so as far back as I can remember, my dad was always a very hard worker. He worked for our family business, which was automatic plating. I always remember him being a good provider for our family, for me and my sister. He was always stressed. I do remember that too. And he had his times where I was afraid of him, but he was, the man of the house, and but he was a good father. I remember always going on vacations with him. He used to take us everywhere. He used to take us to Disney World. We always had a family trip or a couple of family trips every year. But he was very good to me and my sister, just very strict at times. He was demanding, like he expected us to be a certain way, with teaching us manners and stuff like that. What else could I say? I know he loved his cars, his music. He did a lot of DJing with his music. He loved to dance. Very funny at times. He was a wise guy. But he loved his family. He loved me and my sister very much. And I learned that even more as I got older. My father was a workaholic. He was always working. He always used to work like overtime. Like he used to come home very late at night. And he would always go on in the morning. But he did save his weekends for his family. What else could I say? There's just so much. There's so much to say, and to say it all within a few minutes here, it's like, as I was growing up, me and my father, we had a falling out. Like, we didn't talk to each other for a long time. And I was the one who actually, after years passed, I called my father, because I don't believe he would be the one to call me. So I called him, and I tried to make amends with him. Like, I wanted to, fix everything. And I wanted my father back in my life. So we didn't speak for about, I would say, it's a long time. How many years? 10. About 10 years? Long time. 10 years. And in that 10 years, he missed a lot of his granddaughter's life, Jada. Which I'm upset about, but I have to be thankful that we did make up and we did fix our issues with each other, and he was eventually a part of his granddaughter's life, and he got to know her, and seeing who I became as I grew up versus who I was the last time I had talked to him, I saw he was very proud of me. For all the things that I've accomplished, and he saw what a good mother I was, and that was very, it was very nice for me to see that my father, because my father was never the type growing up where he would compliment things. He would never tell me how good I was at something, but as I got older, it was very important for me to hear that my father actually accepted who I was, what I've become, and that I started my business, and what a good mother I was. And but as my father got older, I think because of all the things that have happened to him in his life, he became very emotional, cried a lot. It wasn't the father that I remember. He was also sick, very sick from his stroke. He had some heart issues in the past, and I think that caused his health to, plummet. And he just, I don't know, life changed, but it was okay. I didn't see my father as much as I wanted to because he had moved to New York with Deborah. And I think that he always thought that I was mad at him for that. But, I mean, he's a grown man. He could do whatever he wants. We had our life in Connecticut. He had his life in New York. I know there was times where he wishes that I would see him more. But it's almost impossible at times because of my work schedule and his granddaughter's work schedule. And it's just, I have so much going on with sports and just work all the time. And, I tried to spend as much time with my father as time went on because I saw how sick he was getting. I never imagined seeing my father as sick as he was because he was always such like a tough guy growing up and, like a macho guy, and to see him sick the way he was, it was hard for me. But I always tried to call him and keep in contact with him as much as I could, especially within the last few years that he was alive. Because I always would say to myself, he's not going to be around forever. I'm just glad that he was able to spend time with his granddaughter. That means a lot to me. And, later in life, he married Deborah, and I do believe that no matter what, she was probably the best caretaker that he could have asked for. I miss my father. I miss talking to him. I miss hearing his voice. I remember my Uncle Angelo telling me when he came to see us, please see your father more. And I would always listen to that in the back of my head. And that kept me calling him. No matter whether he had to say something good or bad to me, I still always would call him because I know that hearing my voice and what I was up to and what Jada was up to was very important to him. I still can't believe he's gone. I still can't believe I'm here in Sicily. I wish he was here, but I believe he's somewhere here with us. I don't know what else could I say. I feel like there's so much that I left out. I didn't talk about my parents' divorce. My parents divorced. When my parents got divorced when I was about 13, 14 years old, it was tough. It was tough for us. But as I got older, I realized that it was probably the best thing to happen. Not having both parents around, sometimes it stinks, but you learn to deal with it. When my sister passed away, that was another big thing that happened. I'm the one that had to call my father and tell him that my sister had passed away. That was a very difficult time for me because I can't imagine losing my child. So I could only imagine how it was for him, for she didn't talk to him for some years either. I'm very happy that my father met his biological family. I think it's a miracle. I think it's wonderful. I think it's so nice that we could all be here together and share this time and be with people who are actually blood related to us. It's been a wonderful experience. I'm very grateful for it. My father always wanted to know who his biological family was, and Deborah helped him achieve that goal by finding his family. Oh, that's really it. I don't know what else to say. Good? That's it? Basta? Basta?
Okay.